Hey guys, it's Daniel. Welcome back.
Does success change people? Sometimes it does, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. The following is a quote from Krist Novoselic where he discusses some of the impact Famous had on him and the band, as well as why Nirvana left independent label Sub Pop for DGC, a major label, and how he feels the term alternative has lost its meaning. This quote is from July of 1992. This is what Krist had to say. Quote, "When we were on Sub Pop, we got used to the lack of options on an independent label. All these challenges, the lack of cash, being independent and small, can strangle your infrastructure, you know what I mean? There was no future, so we looked for a major label because we were fed up with the poor distribution of our albums. We wanted stability. The whole world around us told us what we were going to do was dumb, but now we have absolute control over what we do. Large companies are now getting out their checkbooks to catch the independent bands. It's inevitable. Certain things contribute to other things happening. They've reflected on the state of music and they've made a great discovery. At last, they're aware of what's been cooking for years on independent labels. Now they want to bring that music to the surface. As a result, the independent or alternative label is meaningless. It's too early to judge, though, what's going on with all these changes. You need some perspective to know if this will help change something, some value or some market rule. What I do know is that all these bands are different to the conventional pop products. They've got nothing to do with the prototype of album-oriented rock or with all those heavy metal bands. People want genuine rock and roll, which reinvents itself all the time. It's natural with any art form. It's the fate of the planet. The forces that make the continents drift, day becoming night, everything's got to change. It comes down to how the record executives begin to change their methods, their way of seeing things. They wonder, what the heck are all these new bands? What the heck is happening? It's hard to retrain that kind of thinking. It takes a long time. We've always known who Sonic Youth were, even 5 or 6 years ago when they were an underground band. In the prestigious mainstream circuit, nobody had the slightest idea they existed. There's always been that part of the market throughout rock history. Everyone knew who the Rolling Stones were, but at the same time ignored the Stooges, Seeds, New York Dolls. There were no alternative bands. Something similar happens each time something new and different starts to slowly enter the mainstream pop circuit. It was unthinkable just 3 or 4 years ago. Success has had a negative influence on us. We're stressed. It's made us all anxious. Our ethics meant we could see that we become part of the mainstream. We're just working class guys though, and we're not suddenly going to start loving the people who ignored us before all this happened. We're not going to become materialistic and screwed up. Nothing will change my mind. I'm really sure about that. Yeah, success has been a huge pressure on us, but there comes a time when suddenly you decide to move on. The root of all of this is the music we do, and that is still something that comes exclusively from inside us. Once we'd got our heads together and gotten our position straight, it was different. Personally, I think I feel much better now. I can be a lot more relaxed about things, you know? I'm grateful for everything that happened to us, as well as the position I'm in personally thanks to these events. What I appreciate most of all is that this time we've had direct and privileged access to the media. Our music is still the same, but the media are introducing us to a lot of people now. That allows us to expose our ideas and views to a huge audience. Today, I can communicate with a lot of people on a lot of topics, something that was impossible before. My private life hasn't changed, at least not greatly. Materially, I have a much more comfortable existence. I can see other places, I can do things that a year ago I would never have imagined. For a long time, we were stuck in a corner about to take off but never did. But we had a lot of promise. And now our fans have quintupled. A very big thing happened to Nirvana, the biggest thing that can happen to a rock band. We're like the buds that have blossomed. We've grown, things have become more grounded. All that's left to find out is where we'll go after this.